when it comes to bloodsuckers in the animal kingdom. The first that comes to mind is vampire bats. But hold on to your garlic because there are many more creatures out there with a thirst for blood. Welcome to the world of nature's most notorious vampires. Let's meet 5 of the nastiest bloodsuckers you've probably never heard of. Our first guest hails from the spooky woods of Southeast Asia, the Vampire Moth. When you think of moths, you probably picture them fluttering around lights or munching on your favorite sweater. But these guys are in a league of their own. Vampire moths, also known as Calyptra, have a taste for something a bit more sinister. In the creepy world of vampire moths, known for their eerie blood-sucking habits. Unlike typical moths, vampire moths use a sharp proboscis to pierce the skin of animals and sip their blood. Thanks to anticoagulants in their saliva, it allows the moth to feed efficiently by preventing the blood from clotting while they feed. But don't worry, vampire moths don't usually go after humans. They prefer to stick to their animal friends like buffalo and deer. The male moths gain essential nutrients from this unusual diet, while some species still stick to fruit and nectar, just like your average moth. With that said, the next time you see a moth fluttering around your porch light, take a closer look. It could be a tiny vampire looking for its next midnight snack. Next up, from the dusty deserts of the Americas, meet the blood-sucking Conenose, also known as the kissing bug, but don't let the name fool you. Their kiss is far from sweet. The blood-sucking Conenose is a type of assassin bug with a thirst for blood. Picture this, you're fast asleep and a kissing bug crawls onto your face, targeting the areas around your mouth and eyes. They're called kissing bugs because of this unusual choice of feeding spots. But instead of a goodnight kiss, they use their long, needle-like proboscis to pierce the skin and find a blood vessel. Their saliva contains anesthetics to numb the area and anticoagulants to keep the blood flowing, allowing them to feed without waking you up. This sneaky strategy allows the Conenose to feed undetected, often for up to 20 minutes, ensuring it gets a full meal without waking its host. Their bites can transmit Chagas disease. This disease can lead to severe health issues if left untreated. Trust me, you do not want a goodnight kiss from this nasty bloodsucker. Coming in third is the ancient and fascinating fish that's straight out of a sci-fi movie, the lamprey. Lampreys are jawless fish that have been around for over 360 million years. These guys haven't changed much since the time of the dinosaurs. And if that doesn't blow your mind, wait until you hear about their feeding habits. They take their blood-sucking very seriously. Lampreys are parasitic, which means they latch onto other fish with that terrifying mouth of theirs. Using their tongue and those teeth-like structures, they rasp away at their host's flesh to feed on its blood and bodily fluids. The lamprey's feeding frenzy might seem like a scene from a horror movie, but for these ancient creatures, it's just another day at the office. Despite their creepy appearance and vampiric feeding habits, lampreys play a vital role in their ecosystems. By preying on weaker fish, they help control the population of their host species, and when they die, their bodies provide nutrients for other aquatic life. It's nature's way of keeping things in balance. These fascinating creatures remind us that the natural world is full of mysteries and marvels, some beautiful and others, like the lamprey, wonderfully strange and hauntingly unique. Now, let's meet the vampire frog, also known as the vampire flying frog. At first glance, it might seem like your typical tree frog, but there's a twist. These frogs have a dark and fascinating tale to share. Unlike most frogs, the vampire frog's story takes a thrilling turn right from the moment it lays its eggs. Once these eggs hatch, the real adventure begins. The tadpoles are no ordinary larvae. These tiny creatures are born with a thirst for something very special: the blood of their mother's eggs. The tadpoles of the vampire frogs are equipped with specialized fang-like structures on the underside of their mouths, giving the species its eerie name. These tadpoles exhibit a rare behavior known as oophagy, feeding on the unfertilized eggs left behind by their mother. But the vampire frog tadpoles take this a step further. They pierce the egg capsules and feed on the nutritious fluids inside, much like a tiny vampire. As the tadpoles grow and develop, this blood-rich diet helps them gain the strength they need to eventually transform into young frogs. Once they reach this stage, they leave their vampire-like ways behind and take on a more typical frog diet of insects and other small prey. And so the cycle of life continues in the rainforest, with each new generation of vampire frogs carrying on this extraordinary tradition. Finally, From the African savanna, we have the oxpecker. At first glance, these birds might seem like harmless helpers, grooming their large mammalian friends, but there's more to this relationship than meets the eye. Known for its mutualistic relationship with large mammals like rhinos, zebras, and buffaloes, it feeds on ticks and other parasites that infest their hosts. But this little bird isn't just a helpful cleaner, it has a taste for blood. With a sharp beak perfectly designed for the job, the oxpecker can access hard-to-reach areas and keep wounds open. This allows them to feed on both the blood and the parasites, ensuring a steady food supply. While it might seem like a one-sided relationship, the host animals tolerate the oxpecker because it helps reduce the number of harmful parasites. In this way, the oxpecker's blood-sucking habit is balanced by its beneficial role as a pest controller. Back at the nest, oxpeckers feed their chicks a diet rich in ticks and insects. These young ones are raised on a diet fit for a future bloodsucker. The oxpecker's blood-sucking behavior is a spooky reminder of the complex relationships in nature. This little bird walks the line between friend and fiend, balancing survival with its unique feeding habits. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride exploring 5 nasty bloodsuckers. Next time you think of vampires, remember these incredible, if a bit creepy creatures. Until next time, keep your doors locked, your waters clear, and your eyes peeled for more incredible creatures.